This video is all about where to find half-price homes hitting the market with proof. Welcome back, friends. It's a great day in South Florida. It is 69 degrees out, which of course means it is an Arctic winter here in Florida, and it is too bright for me and my pale skin. But today I want to get into it because I have been talking about the market crash that I expect to happen at some point in the future. And there are tons of content creators that have built all types of successful channels built around the fear, the uncertainty, the doom and gloom that is real. I mean, there are many macro things economically that we can point to which obviously demonstrate that there is going to be economic hell to pay at some point in the future. But nobody wants to wait for the deal. They want to get a half-price home right now. And that's why I'm making this video. So if you've been watching for a while, you may have seen I found a half-price home in my market, and I did. I found a home in one of the canyons that was abandoned. It was in foreclosure. It was, the chain of title on this property was, the owner of the home played every game that they possibly could to delay the eventual sale of the property, and it had not gone so far as to eliminate the possibility of it being sold, but it came damn close. And at the end of the day, I did not trust that it would ever actually be sold. I didn't think the deal would ever close because I also tracked the numerous lawsuits and the pattern of behavior that the owner, who was quite sophisticated, who knew how to play the game, I could see what he's done for the last 10 plus years, and I didn't believe he would actually deliver the property. I didn't believe he would actually sell the property, and so I avoided that half-price home. But I did illegally enter the property because I was selling a home next door to it, and I noticed that although there were signs that said do not enter and do not trespass, the neighborhood kids had broken in, and the windows were open, and the interior of this place was just completely destroyed. I mean, these kids had a field day, and although this is a really nice family neighborhood to live in, had I not known any better, I would think that there was, we were living in Cracktown, because there were mattresses, there were all types of paraphernalia all over the place. There was lots of partying that went on in this home, and I would like to believe that the kids who live there are not capable of that level of partying. But that would not be true, because somebody had a lot of fun in this house. And I went in anyway. I examined what I thought it would take to bring this to market and get maximum value for the property. I brought in a GC. I did lots of research, lots of homework. And at the end of the day, if I believed that it would close, well, then I could probably make a couple $100,000 if we slapped some lipstick on that pig. And really, it wasn't slapping lipstick. It would be completely redoing this house. But again, I did not trust that the property would be delivered. I didn't believe it would close, and I passed. But that home, which if it was brought up to speed during the market conditions, that this was about a year and a half ago, I want to say, that home probably would have sold for something like 1.718. And if I remember the terms, and again, my memory is not the best sometimes, I probably could have gotten that home for something around 600, and that's a massive win, right? Well, I read your comments, and I know there are lots of people out there that are waiting for half-price homes. They're waiting for the market to crash. They're waiting to get the opportunity to capitalize on the deals that presented themselves the last time the market crashed. And I've made the argument for a while that I don't think this next crash is going to be anything like the last crash. And I don't mean in terms of intensity or severity. I just don't believe that the REOs or the foreclosures that banks are going to take into inventory, I don't think they're ever going to hit the market the way they did the last time. I think they will be packaged up. I think they will be auctioned off. I don't think they'll ever hit the market. I think they will just be institutionally sold to an investor, and they will make a lot of money. And whether that's a hedge fund, an institution, a private investor, it doesn't really matter. What I believe to be true is that someone with deep pockets or an institution with deep pockets is going to have first crack at those homes, and they're never going to hit the market. So I could be wrong. I don't know. I am not Nostradamus, but I really don't believe that we're going to see anything like the same amount of inventory in distress that we did the last time. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that there are plenty of opportunities. I hope that the market is allowed to function as a free market. I don't think that's going to happen. And I'll tell you why. I'm watching what happens right now in my market in terms of the auctions, in terms of the distressed sales, in terms of the foreclosures. And none of those stats show up in the MLS. None of that gets reported to the Realtor Association. So there is a market out there for auctioned homes, and there are certainly lots of people that are in financial distress, but much of that, almost all of that, never gets documented. It never sees the MLS. It never gets reported in any of the Realtor Association metrics. They just don't exist, except that they do exist. But what I'm going to share with you is how to take advantage and find a half-price home right now, because we're going to flip the script a little bit in terms of what that looks like. Because right now, I know for certain, based on my own experience talking to sellers that are in distress, that many of them are prepared to make a deal. However, they want their number. And if they are open to providing terms for that high water number that they want, well then, depending on where they're at in the property financially, you can get a half-price home. Chris, what the hell are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. How could I possibly get a half-price home? Well, I'll explain a little bit further. And if you want to know more information, then please click the link, which will be up above, and schedule a 15-minute Zoom consultation or phone call with me, and we can get granular. I can give you more detail. But please understand that there are ready, willing, and able sellers that want to get rid of their home, and they're only going to do it if they get their number. So chances of them getting the number that they want on the market, if they're in some kind of financial distress, are zero, right? There are certainly plenty of investors out there that are willing to throw out a lowball number, and if the financial distress is sufficient enough for them to take the deal, well then those investors are going to get those deals. But if those sellers don't necessarily need to sell, in terms of there's no gun to their head financially, they're not getting evicted, they don't need to do anything, but they want to, and they are open to being creative, well then there are opportunities for you to capitalize on their want. What does that mean exactly? I'll role play this with you, right? There are lots of folks out there that own a home and they want to be out of that home, but their interest rate is so low that they can't possibly recreate that opportunity for themselves, right? So they may be in at 2% for their mortgage interest rate. They may be in at 3% for their mortgage interest rate. If they sell their home and they buy another one and they require a mortgage, well, chances are they're going to be paying something like 7% or whatever the mortgage rate is at the time. That doesn't make any sense. They're probably not going to do that. So they're stuck. But again, depending on what their circumstances are, and I have learned there are lots of people that are facing lots of different circumstances who don't know what they don't know, but many of them are willing to trade out of their home if you are willing to take over their mortgage. And I know lots of people are going to get crazy right now and say, you can't do that, you can't assign a mortgage, you can't do this, that, and the other thing. And the reality of it is there are plenty of solutions that solve that problem. But the bank does not own the title to your home. The mortgage company that you've got your mortgage with does not own the title to your home. You own the title to your home. And if you were able to find someone who was willing to give you terms that you agree with, that benefit both of you, and let the new buyer take advantage of your lower interest rate with terms that allow you to do what you want in your next move or for your next move, well, then chances are you can put a deal together. And the half price is more about the half price mortgage rate that you'll be paying relative to the market, because every day there are creative finance deals happening with folks who are thrilled that they're able to get free and clear, get the terms they need, and move on with their life on one end of the equation. On the opposite end of the equation, there are buyers who are absolutely thrilled that they are able to get into a property with terms that they can afford that are better than, in many instances, what the current mortgage rate is. But there's all kinds of different options. There's all types of different solutions. There's all types of different creative ways to solve both the buyer and the seller's problem. And investors are having a field day with this all day long. Pace Morby is a specialist in this and has built an enormous team, community, and movement, which I'm part of. And it happens all day long. But you must be working with people who understand exactly how to do what needs to be done. And finding those professionals that actually know what to do rather than talk out their ass is quite challenging. But I'm happy to have those conversations with you if that is something you are interested in. But please understand, there are half-price homes that are happening half-price home deals happening right now all day long. You just have to find them, and we specialize in that. So I don't want to belabor the point. I hope you found this content valuable. If you do, please subscribe, share it with a friend. If I can help in any way, please reach out. The link, again, will be at the end of this video. It will take you to my Calendly page, and we can book a 15-minute call. But I'm always here to help. If nobody's told you today, just know I love you, and I'll see you on my next video.